Apple has made a lot of promises. Now it's time to keep them. 4 years after the company introduced the iPad, Apple will unveil something at a special event. It might be a new iPhone with a bigger screen, a sleeker design, and probably wireless payment capabilities. Apple is thought to have deals with all the major credit card companies and a small chip in the new devices that consumers could use to pay for just about anything. That chip will also be in the expected iWatch. It should come with a flexible screen and will track its wearer's health and fitness.
We sort of hit a plateau in a lot of these devices. There's not really that many new places for a 5-inch kind of glass and metal slab phone to go. Not many places for a 7 or 9-inch tablet to go. So that's why I feel like they need to, move into these new categories like wearables, which is hot sort of buzz-wise, but nobody's really buying any of them yet because none of them are very good right now. And we'll see if that sort of gives them sort of that taste of being the innovators again.
A line has formed outside this Apple store in New York City. It's mainly filled with people promoting apps that would presumably go on the next generation of iPhones, but it's also got people talking about what Apple could have in store.
I think the new phone.
The new phone.
The new phone,
yes,
definitely.
Ready for an upgrade.
Yeah, same. Same. Even though I only had mine for a year, but I want the new one.
Well, I like everything Apple does, and hopefully there's going to be a bigger screen on their iPhone. And then I'm interested in their wearables, so if I go for a run or a hike or a bike ride, I can track whatever success or lack of success I have.
I'm looking for the iPhone 6. I'm looking for a bigger screen, faster processor, and hopefully better battery.
Apple will reveal its latest innovations tonight in California. Nikki Yomer, Arise News.
Trembling with anticipation, Yannick Naud is with us from Sturgeon Capital. what are they depending upon? I mean, apart from the new products, they are depending on people wanting to change, aren't they? To change the product that they already have, which presumably is a fairly narrow band of the population. They've got to do big numbers on this, haven't they?
Well, they have to achieve, the company could do 200 billion sales next year. So whatever they sell, they have to sell a lot of it. So obviously, there will be two iPhone 6, and they will, on this product, they will rely on existing clients to upgrade and to try to convince other clients into buying Apple. That's the first step. Otherwise, for the watch, for example, it's a brand new product. No one really knows exactly what it is, what it will do. For this to be a real success, they need to sell tens of millions of this watch from the first year.
What is your estimate? I mean, I've heard 35, 40, 50 million that they need to sell. Is that about right?
There's analysts talking about 10 million up to 60 million. So who knows? It will depend on the price point. Obviously, some people are talking about $400 for each watch or $200 if it's just only something to check your health or how much calorie you consume. So, it will depend on the price of the watch and if it's popular.
There's a whole jungle of apps out there as well, obviously. Who are their main rivals for, if it comes from pocket to wrist, as we said, something to wear on your wrist? Who are the main rivals?
Well, for the watch business, I think there is all the existing product on the health. So it's the Fuel Band from Nike and Jawbone, and there's a lot of maker. Right now, they're not selling a lot. I mean, I think altogether they didn't sell 10 million product yet. So it will be difficult for them to compete. And obviously, what so far most of tech companies did not achieve, except Apple, was to make it a fashion item. Okay. And that's very important. I think iPhone is a fashion item, and they will need to make the watch as cool as any other product.
You've often observed the track of Apple shares before and then after an announcement. What's happened in this case? Because often they dip afterwards,
yes.
Doesn't it?
It will be the 8th iPhone. The first one started in 2007, and there were 7 other products. And we know that if we look at the previous track record, the share tend to go up, in average around 5.2% the months before the release, and go down around 1.8% after the release. So far, it's slightly different because the share went up until last month, and it's down. I think almost 4% in the last 2 weeks now. So it's slightly different. I think there's a lot of anticipation. They can't mistake anything. The anticipation is too big.
Of course. Are we looking at a tech boom which is perhaps fueled a bit by reality as opposed to the one at the turn of the century?
Well, I mean, at least for Apple, I mean, Apple is trading around 4.5 time earnings. So it's not a valuation like a typical internet company with 100 times earning, or like, you know, Amazon, I think, is like 300 time earnings. So we're not talking about comparable numbers. They have a lot of free cash flow. They have much less growth than they used to be. It's a very big company. It's the biggest company by market cap. Yeah. But, you know, if you look at the balance sheet, I think 22% of the market cap is in cash. So it's not the most leveraged, the most risky company.
Stay with us. Thanks for that, though, Yannick.